Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. It's Liz from West Star Tarot. And today I'm going to talk about the month of June. I have notes. Otherwise I forget all the things I want to talk about. So just to begin, the month of June was sort of the theme for the month of June for me was loving. So loving, to be loved, to love, and loving. That was the theme. And for my plants for the month of June, I had rose, and this is beach rose, Rosa rugosa. It's a wild rose. It smells divine, and it is really prevalent, blooming prevalently in the month of June. I'm still gathering some here on July 15th. You know, not like I did in the month of June, but anyway. So this is from the Plant Spirit Oracle by Lisa Esterbrook, and she talks about joy. I think of this plant as love, but of course, when you feel loved and you are loving, I think you are much more apt to feel joy as well. So there is a connection to me between love and joy. So during the month of June, I was continuing to use this deck, Sacred Medicine deck by Asha Frost. And one of the cards I pulled was strawberry. And if you see, the key word for strawberry is love. And in this deck, Asha talks about the strawberry as being a heart-shaped plant, and the leaves of Rosa rugosa are also heart-shaped. Rose is a plant that I consider healing for the physical and metaphysical heart. And in the guidebook, there is talk about the same thing with strawberry. So let me just read a little bit about what they say in the guidebook. This delicious red berry, and by the way, in the month of June is when our local native strawberries are coming in fast and furious and delicious. So June is a month where we have rose, beach rose, Rosa rugosa, and strawberry. So this delicious red berry is calling you into a healing space for your heart. Traditionally, we call the strawberry the heart berry due to its shape and healing qualities. This medicine invites you into the eternal flow of love, reminding you that love is not conditional. You are worthy of receiving it always. Where does love need to flow? Where have you been pushing it away or blocking it from entering your space? Are there aspects of your heart that feel broken, parts that need tending to? Perhaps it's the current state of the world that is causing heartache for you. Strawberry reminds us that in order for change to happen, we must break open like buds on a vine. Let the pain flow. Allow yourself to feel it rise so it can be released. You are being asked to bring consciousness to your heart space at this time. As you focus your awareness, strawberry will amplify the flow of nourishing divine love. With an open heart, you can carry love's frequency more effortlessly. Allow the vibration of love to flow in reciprocal ways, balancing out the giving and receiving. Strawberry calls us to step into this beautiful harmony. So, the fact that I pulled this card during the month when I was also working with Rose, and the whole concept of love, as I mentioned, was rather synchronistic, I thought. And I started thinking about strawberries. I was eating a lot of strawberries, and I was talking to a friend of mine about these cards and about what was happening in terms of my theme this month. And they asked me, well, Liz, as an herbalist, what are the healing medicinal properties of strawberry? And I thought, gosh, you know, I've never even thought of strawberry other than as a fruit that I eat for enjoyment. I haven't really thought of it as an herbal healing remedy. So I did look it up, and strawberry has many of the same properties as rose in terms of healing the physical and metaphysical heart. So it's anti-inflammatory, it is high in vitamins A and C, it has heart healing properties because it is anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. So I thought, you know, I never even thought of it before, but I'm going to try making a tea, an infusion with strawberry and rose. And I also put in a couple, I made multiple versions of it. So mainly the ingredients, because they were so prevalent in the month of June, were strawberry and rose. So I just sliced up fresh local strawberries, put it in the French press with fresh rose petals, and one time I added some lemon balm, and another time I added some holy basil, and the teas were delicious and healing, and this beautiful deep pink red color that came from the rose petals, but mainly the strawberries. I had never thought of making, as I said, a tea from strawberry, but now I know, and I will every June use the local strawberries. And if I can find organic strawberries, I'll continue to do it. It's delicious and so heart healing. So that was the work that I did with for love for my plants. And then for crystals, I was working with, of course, what's the love crystal? For me, it is rose quartz. And I have this really gorgeous rose quartz that I got from Patrick Fogarty at the Living Wheel that is carved like a rose. So this is sort of, I just adore this. And I pulled from a crystal deck this rose quartz, which is love. So these were on my altar, these beautiful 3 cards, to remind me of and also the rose quartz, to remind me of the theme of the month, which was love. And I'm hoping to even continue that into July. I have physical heart ailments, so I need to work on my physical heart healing. And I continue to have some metaphysical heart issues that I'm also working with. So healing my heart on a physical and metaphysical level is work that I'm continuing to do, and I would imagine I will continue to do for you know, my lifetime. So that's the love theme. In the month of June, I also had kind of a feather month. So I was walking in the woods one day, and I found this beautiful hawk feather that I believe is from a red-tailed hawk. Look at how gorgeous it is. I mean, I often find feathers, but not in such beautiful condition. And I saw this, and I was just so thrilled. So this has been, hawk medicine has been working with me in the month of June. And then I was walking elsewhere in the month of June, and I found a whole cluster of these beautiful turkey feathers. And again, such beautiful condition. I'm afraid that this turkey met not a good, I think there was a demise there, because there were a lot of feathers, and they were all in beautiful condition. So I have been working with turkey as well. And then I also found some little eeny weeny teeny feathers too. So June was a real feathery month for me too. So feather I equate with the element of air. I was thinking about that as well. Then also in the month of June, we had the solstice, the summer solstice. And for me, because of this card from the Herbal Tarot, this is the Sun card, and on it is Angelica. And for me, Angelica is blooming in the month of June. And my Angelica, this is now past the flower state, and you can see it's now producing seeds. And this is usually when I harvest it. I leave a lot in my garden to, plant seeds. But I like to also harvest when it's like this, and then I can keep it on my altar or in my sacred space, just so I can have the beautiful energy of Angelica. Of course, I also think about St. John's wort for the solstice, and this I'm drying. This hasn't been a great year for us for St. John's wort. In fact, I didn't even find any in bloom until into July. So I didn't actually have St. John's wort on the solstice. But I had a lovely solstice celebration. My daughter, Naomi, wrote up a beautiful ritual. She wrote up it was like a spell, a prayer, a ritual that was about a page long, and the instructions from Naomi were to go out at dawn and read the ritual or the prayer or the blessing spell 3 times at sunrise, and then again 3 times at sunset, which I did do, and it was really powerful. And I didn't have, I did a solitary celebration of the solstice, which, the solstice is really sort of an expansive, you kind of expect to have a group, a community ritual, but I didn't. I had a solitary, and it was because of the ritual prayer blessing spell that Naomi wrote. It was really powerful and really enjoyable. So for my magical activism, I did do a video in April, I think, about using our magical work to defeat hate and to invoke love and protection into our world, especially for marginalized communities. So the spell that I did, my magical activism spell for June, oops, that's Luna. Since it was Pride Month, I did a spell. I went in May to Salem, and in one of the magical shops in Salem, I found this rainbow or chakra candle, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna get that candle, and I'm going to use it for my spell work or my magical activism work for June, and do a invoking love and protection spell for the LGBTQ++ community. And so I did do that in June. I had a mirror, and I attached the rainbow candle to the mirror, and I put it on a red plate that I surrounded with dried, well, they were at the time fresh rose petals for love and dried nettle for protection. And I lit the candle and, let it burn down. I anointed the candle, and it was really powerful. So that was the magical activism I did for the month of June. In June, I continued my work with the Decans, and we had Gemini. Poor Gemini. Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords. But I had an awakening, an epiphany about the Ten of Swords in June. And I saw it in a completely different light. I was looking at the Rider-Waite-Smith version, and I saw that sun in the background as a new beginning. So, you know, when you think about the Ten of Swords, especially the Rider-Waite-Smith version of it, you think about, well, you've gone about as low as you can go. There's nowhere to go but up. But I looked at that sun and saw the sunrise and thought of it rather than ruin and all the difficulty. Not that it's not a difficult card. It can be, but I don't want to think of a card as all bad or all good. So anyway, I saw this good side to the Ten of Swords in my workings as I went through the decans in the month of June. And then for Cancer, which for the June 21st through July 1st, it's the Two of Cups. So the Cancer decans are 2, 3, and 4 of Cups. And I thought, ooh, nothing like going from the 8, 9, 10 of Swords to the 2, 3, 4 of Cups. That's quite a shift. But anyway, I think that the most profound decan for the month of June for me was, in fact, the Ten of Swords. So, activities that I had in the month of June. I took a trip with a friend of mine to visit another friend of ours in P-Town, Provincetown. So I live on Cape Cod. I live on the Upper Cape, which is near the canal end of it. And Provincetown is at the complete and total, sorry, hold on a minute. Luna! Luna, come! Luna! Good girl. Come on, lie down. This is what happens when I film outside. You get to hear my guard dog. Anyway, we went to, a friend of ours has a position with the Provincetown Arts and Cultural Center, and she is doing diversity and inclusivity work with them. And so we went down to visit her, and it was a pouring down rain day. It was kind of crazy, but then the sun came out. We had a ball. Provincetown is so much fun. If you're not familiar with Provincetown, it has multiple communities that sort of align with it. So it's a fishing community. Well, obviously it started out pre-colonial as a Native American area, but post-colonial we had, I'm sure Native Americans fished in Provincetown too. So I'm sorry if sound like I'm implying that the colonial folks brought something new and different. They did not. But anyway, Provincetown has a recent history, or a post-colonial history, of Cape Verdean and Portuguese immigrants who moved here and brought their fishing skills, and so settled in Provincetown. And then in the 20s and 30s, it became sort of an artist colony. There were a lot of writers and visual artists. The movie Reds was about that part of Provincetown. There's a lot of theater in Provincetown, and there are these shacks out in the dunes that artists can apply for and go and spend the summer months just creating, writing, painting, whatever. And then the other piece of the community in Provincetown is the gay community. So I say gay because it started out, I want to say in the 50s, and I might be wrong. I haven't done the research. This is just what I'm remembering. It became a gay men's retreat and vacation spot, and it was a place where gay men felt safe to be and safe to be themselves. They didn't have to hide who they were. So we had this very interesting community of a blend of lots of different communities coming together in this really rather small town at the very, very tip of Cape Cod. And now Provincetown has moved beyond being an enclave for just gay men, being a community for LGBTQ plus community. So it's a very interesting place, and it's a lot of fun. And I haven't been there. I usually go 2 or 3 times a year, and I hadn't been, I think, since before the pandemic. So it was really nice getting down there. The other fun thing that I did in June was I got to see one of my favorite roots reggae bands called Steel Pulse. And they played at the Cape Cod Melody Tent, and my sister and I went to see them. And it was great. It just talk about heart healing, heart opening. You know, roots reggae does that for me. It opens my heart. It's heart healing. That music is about love and peace. It's also about revolution, but it's heart healing for me, and it gives me hope. So anyway, to be able to see one of my all-time favorite reggae bands locally was really fun and really uplifting. So that was quite enjoyable. So let me talk about decks. I use some of the same decks that I have been using since March. Women's Witch's Wisdom, Fifth Spirit, Gaian, Wee Moon. This one does the Sacred Medicine, which I've already talked about. I also use Shimmering Veil, Urban Crow, because it was Pride Month, I thought, you know, I should pull out a couple of the decks that I have that were created by you know, queer people. And of course I have been using Fifth Spirit, which is a deck created by a queer person, Charlie Claire Burgess, to be inclusive. And I'm continuing to use that, but I decided to also pull out the Urban Tarot by Robin Scott. And this is an homage to the city of New York, and I am connected to New York. This is a Thoth-based deck. I am connected to New York through an extended family, and I've spent many a weekend and fun time in that city, and I have a real fondness for New York. I do not have a fondness for New York sports teams, being from Boston. But New York itself, I adore. Here are the majors, as you can see, from the Urban Tarot. And this deck, oh shoot, I should have pulled it out. If I can find it really quickly, I'm going to. I think I can find it. Yes. So this has, oh dear, I don't know what I did with it. It's not here. This has one of my favorite Five of Wands, and I don't know what I did with it, but it shows a Yankees fan and a Red Sox fan. So in the background of the Yankees fan is Yankee Stadium, and in the background of the Red Sox fan is Fenway Park, and they're actually arm wrestling. And if you are either a Yankee fan or a Red Sox fan, you will so easily be able to understand the meaning of the Five of Wands just by Robin's really kind of humorous yet exacting interpretation of that card. I wish I had pulled it out. It's really a great card. The other deck that I decided to pull out, and both of these I'm continuing to work with in the month of July, is Numinous, and this is by Cedar McLeod. And this is a wonderful deck. I really enjoy working with this deck. Here's just a few cards. I think the guidebook is wonderful with this deck. I think Cedar's done a great job with their interpretation. Oh, here's our Three of Vials, Three of Cups for the second decan of Cancer. So anyway, these are decks that I started to use like the last 3rd of June, and I'm continuing to use into July. So I did something that's very unlike me at the beginning of this year. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try to read 100 books this year. So I got myself a little old school notebook. I know there are apps, and I know you could do it on the notes in your phone and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm old school, so I got my little notebook. I have fiction and nonfiction. And so I started writing down January 1st, you know, the title, the author, the date I started, and the date I finished the book. And through the end of June, I have read 43 books. Now we're at the middle of July and I'm at 49 books. So I think I do actually, 43 and 43 is 86, so I'm gonna have to up the ante a little bit for the second half of the year and read a little bit more than I have been in the first half of the year, because I really would like to make that 100. Although I haven't counted the nonfiction books. I haven't been doing so well. Oh my gosh. Luna! 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 I'm so sorry. Luna! Luna, come! I gotta get her. I'm so sorry. Luna! Luna! Luna, come! Come! Sorry, guys. Well, I don't think you're supposed to ever do that, but I didn't want her barking at my poor neighbor. Sorry about that. So anyway, books. So I haven't been doing as well for nonfiction, but I'm kind of proud of myself. First of all, I set a goal. Second of all, I have a way of recording the goal. And third of all, I'm sticking with that, which is very unlike me. I'm really not organized whatsoever, but we'll see if I make my goal by the end of the year. So in June, I did continue to look at Walk Through the Forest of Souls. It's the revisiting of Rachel Pollack's book, A Walk Through the Forest of Souls. And I guess there's some differences, but I haven't come across them. But anyway, I did a reading. You know, in this book, Rachel talks a lot about doing readings that are sort of from a higher level. So instead of, you know, guidance for today, or what do I need to do to get, you know, that job, or, you know, whatever, she's doing some higher level readings. And one of the things, the reading I did from this book for the month of June was, how do I open my heart? And I did a spread that's called the Spiritual Commentary. It's 5 cards. Short answer, 1 card. Long answer, 3 cards. And spiritual or comment from spirit, 5 cards. And of the 5 cards, I got 4 cups. So I got the 10 of cups for the short answer, the King of Cups, the 6 of Cups, and the Queen of Cups for the long answer. And then comment from spirit was the Devil. So it was a really powerful and interesting reading, and I'm going to continue to try to do those higher level readings at least once each month. So I want to end with one of my spirit animals. Really, the first one that I ever really got in touch with is horseshoe crab. This is a local artist, makes these here on Cape Cod. He crafts them out of pewter, and I have moved this onto my altar, and I've been really trying to connect with horseshoe crab. One of the most ancient animals still living on our planet. So I'm going to end now with the barking dog, who is inside and barking at my poor neighbor. Really sorry to have all this dog barking noise for you folks, but I hope your month of June was really good and that your summer's going well. Much love to you. All the best. Happy summer.